So you want to launch a product on Amazon, but you know nothing about Amazon PPC. You logged in and you notice that it is very, very confusing. You don't know what campaigns to run, what to do, and no worries, I got you. In this video, I'm going to go into the exact tactics we use to get one brand to #1 new release, not once, but twice. And it's currently sitting at #4 best seller in its category. My name is Andy, and I grew my Amazon business from 0 to 3.8 million in 2 years, ran campaigns that hit 47 ROAS or 2% ACoS, created one of the first AI managed PPC softwares, and I'm here to share all the lessons completely free just for you. In this video, I'm gonna focus specifically on sponsored products simply because it's the easiest and realistically all you really need to launch your product. If you have no experience or don't know how Amazon ads works, make sure you check out this full video. It explains what data to track, the types of campaigns, and overall rundown of how Amazon ads work. You definitely need to watch this because it gives like a brief overview explaining what Amazon ads is. And there are realistically only 5 campaigns you need to set up to launch your product. The goals of these campaigns is simply to discover more keywords, and in this video I'm going to explain exactly the campaign, the purpose, and how to set up each of these campaigns step by step. The first one, we're gonna start out with the most basic one. It's called auto discovery. It's basically an automatic campaign, and its job is not to hit a beautiful ACoS week 1, to find more specific search terms. So the way to set up a campaign or to create a campaign is all the same. Just pressing the create campaign button and then choosing sponsored product listings. For this video, like I said before, we're gonna target specifically sponsored products. So for this one, we're gonna run all 4 targeting groups. So what I mean is we're gonna run close match, loose match, substitutes, and compliments. But the thing is, we're gonna run it in different ad groups under the same campaign. So once we open this, to set up this campaign, you just wanna name the first one close, right? We're gonna do it one by one. Amazon and Beyond, I always keep on Amazon and Beyond. And after you select your SKU. So you wanna make sure that you select the right SKU, right? They're gonna have the same ASIN if you have a FBM and FBA SKU. So you have to make sure that you're running the FBA or the FBM SKU, but keep in mind that if you're running ads on an FBM product, it's gonna get significantly less impressions and clicks simply because of the transit times. Amazon tends to favor FBA listings simply because their transit is a lot faster. It gets to the customer's hands a lot faster. So keep that in mind when you're launching a product. It's definitely recommended to have product inside Amazon, unless it is a huge, heavy, bulky product. So after you select the SKU, you're gonna keep on automatic targeting. This campaign is specifically automatic targeting. Next, you wanna set bids by targeting group. Since we are creating targeting groups one by one in each ad group, since this is a close one, we're going to toggle off the other targeting groups. We're just gonna keep close, right? And after, just scroll down to campaign bidding strategy. As you can see here, it's a suggested bid of 50 cents. We're going to go to down only. As you can see, the suggested bid gone up 50%, right? This is because instead of up and down, we selected down only. What up and down is basically you're giving Amazon control to increase your bid up to 100% if they think that click is gonna convert. It's definitely not recommended for launching a new product simply because you don't have data, and down only is where you control like the maximum you want to bid. This is definitely the recommended bidding strategy, especially during the beginning. When you get more conversions and data on which keyword works, then you can launch campaigns with up and down. But definitely you want to stick with down only, especially during the beginning. As you can see here, it says a recommended bid of 56 cents. We're going to go on the lower end. This is because we don't have the conversion rate to create an optimized bid for our target margin, right? So just to test the waters, we're going to start at 56 cents. And if it's not getting impressions, if it's not getting clicks, that's when we want to raise it. But definitely I don't want to overbid for something that we have no data on. So we're just going to start on the lower end of the suggested bid. By no means is using a suggested bid recommended or going to be recommended by these Amazon gurus, but it is the way I run it simply because I have no data for any conversions, right? Typically, you want to look out for the top of search. You do want to get on the first page. That's typically what I adjust for, right? But to start out, it's not really a necessity. If you want, you could kind of play around with it. Since we are bidding low here on the lower end, you can do 30% even if you want, but definitely like make the adjustments as they go on just to make sure you're not overspending. So when you're increasing bids for top search, make sure you check your campaigns because it will sometimes run up really fast. For the campaign name, it is definitely recommended that you organize the campaign name because as you can imagine, and as you can see here, Amazon default name is campaign-date-time. And let's be honest here, if you have 20 campaigns, you have no idea what is inside this campaign, right? So the ideal way and the ideal, topics or words to include in the campaign name is definitely the product, the type, the targeting, the date, and the strategy. So what it looks like is, let's say selling like a shampoo for curly hair. So we're gonna do curl shampoo. Yeah, I already typed it here, but this is exactly what it looks like. I already typed it because I had to re-record this part, unfortunately. But this is what it looks like. Curl shampoo _ SP stands for sponsored product, which, this is a sponsored product campaign. And then underscore, we're gonna do auto. And the purpose of this campaign is for discovery, and the date, which I put 7/26. You could put 07 or the date, the exact date, the month, day, and year. But this is how I like to set up. And daily budget, it really depends on your product, your niche, the campaign you're running, right? We have a lot of campaigns where we have sky high budgets, but since that product is in a niche, a lot less search terms compared to if you're running something like shampoo, right? With tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of search terms, searches per month, that $100 budget will fly by, right? So definitely be wary of what you set your campaign budget to be and what you're comfortable at, right? For example, someone that doesn't want to spend $100 a day on campaign is gonna set a lot less or a lot lower budget than someone that's, a huge brand that's willing to spend $10,000 a day, right? It really depends on you. But I feel like if you're a brand starting out, you want to get like a comfortable spot, you want to get like a comfortable budget, I would just do like $30 just to start from here. And from there, you just press launch campaign, and that's pretty much it. Very, very simple. After you set up the first close match ad group, just go to the same campaign. Just make sure you go into that campaign, create a new ad group, and just do the same thing, but with loose, substitute, and complement. The second campaign is called Manual Exact. This is for your research, high intent keywords that your customer is actively searching for, find your product. This is the campaign that puts your product in front of the highest search volume and the warmest potential customers. If you have no idea how to find these keywords, check out the video right here. It's basically just like a how to find keywords video. We normally begin this campaign with 10 to 15 terms. And if you have a niche, narrow down into something like curly hair shampoo, which is a lot more targeted and more of your ideal audience, right? More of your ideal audience instead of just running for something like shampoo, which has a lot more search volume, but you're not winning that fight on day one. And honestly, you're gonna have a lot lower conversion rate than running in your niche. It's the same sponsored product campaign, right? You go to the same setup, ad group, you're gonna name it as your product. So curly shampoo. We're gonna keep the Amazon and beyond. Just search your product again, find the right ACE in the SKU. Instead of automatic targeting this time, we're gonna choose manual targeting, right? Manual targeting, and from here, since this is exact campaign, we're gonna remove broad and phrase. Next, you're just gonna enter the list of your keywords. So just type in your keywords here. You can remove this and just type in your keywords here. Curly hair shampoo, whatever the keyword might be. And keyword, it's gonna show you the suggested bid, but also you wanna do down only. And as you can see, the bid went up again. Once again, we don't have any conversion data. So we're gonna be definitely on the lower end. If you wanna go 70 to 80% of the suggested bid, you can do that and then adjust the top of search. That's what we usually do. So let's say it's like 350, right? And then just input all of your keywords that you want to run that fits your product and just add them. If you want to just add them in bulk, you can import a list, upload a file right here. You can just copy, download this template and input it, or you can just skip a line, just basically like, hi, bye, whatever. And then just add keywords like this, right? It's gonna add by line. And we're not gonna do negative targeting just because it's a brand new campaign. Also, you're picking out your keywords. And then you want to push really hard on these lists of keywords. You can go like 100% top search, which meaning whatever you put here, you're bidding up to 100% just for that spot. So you're bidding up to $7 just for a single click for this keyword, right? So it really depends on what and how aggressive you want to go, but Typically, we will start out from 30 to 50%, kind of make up for that lower bid. But then again, it really varies based on your category, based on your product, based on your keywords, and based on your competition. For example, a very serious brand might bid a lot more aggressive. It is not really a one size fits all. It's basically you just try it out for the first time and kind of refine the campaign from there, right? Also very, very simple, right? You just name it very similar way. Curl shampoo, the product name, sponsor product, SP. If it's like sponsor display, you just do SD, and then sponsor brand, SB, right? So the naming is pretty much the same, keyword exact. We're not gonna put manual because it says it right. When you're looking at all your campaigns, it kind of says it that it's manual, right? Also, keyword exact. Once you start running for a while, you kind of understand that this is a manual campaign. And then we're gonna do exact and then put the date again. We're gonna start today, and then the budget I want to do, since this is a lot more targeted, I would do $50 to $100. But again, like I said in the first part, it depends on your budget, depends on your goals, depends on how comfortable you are, right? So let's say $50 to just launch the campaign. Very, very simple. Once again, it's not much harder than automatic campaign. It's just that you're adjusting the bid of every single keyword compared to not being able to pick out the keywords for automatic campaign. By the way, guys, if you don't want to manage your ads, would rather focus on other parts of your business as a business owner, which happens to the best of us, since Amazon, I'm guessing, is not your only channel. I developed an AI that fully launches and manages your ads for you, overseen by me personally. It uses every single data point from your seller account and ads, days of stock, target margin, tacos, impressions, conversion rate, and runs your ads backed by actual data. And get this, it's completely free for an entire month. Today is July 16th, 2026. So it might not be anymore when you watch this video, but the link is in the description below. This is kind of a promotion offer just to get our brand up and running. But if not, if you want to manage it yourself, hopefully this video helps you as well. Now, let's get back into the video. Third campaign is called product targeting. It's also a sponsored product. These are sponsored listings within a competitor's listing. I'm sure you've seen this before. If you ever shopped on Amazon, you click into a listing and scroll to the bottom or just scroll a little bit, you're able to see other sponsored products. I'm gonna pull up a picture right here. Instead of showing up in search, it's showing up in similar competitors' products. This is also a very warm audience. They clicked into a very similar product to yours, which is your competitor's product, and your goal is to convert their customer into yours. Well, it's not their customer yet, but basically they're unsure about the product, so they scroll and there you are. So it's the same setup, right? You just create a campaign. This one, do product targeting. Same thing, sites, Amazon and beyond. Select your product. This will be manual targeting. Once you select manual targeting, you want to select product targeting, as you can see here. And from here, we're not going to select the category right now. We're going to select individual products. Amazon is going to show you a list of suggested products. You're going to see your own product here, but we're not going to run that currently just because that's going to be a separate campaign. It's called brand defense, right? You're going to be running ads. It sounds really weird. You're going to run product targeting ads on your own product, but that's going to be another video, right? You're going to find very similar products to yours. And the ideal way to do it is to kind of look for products that has either worse reviews, worse bids, unoptimized listings, anything that gives your product a advantage, right? So once you find the products you want to target, you can just add them. You can also add them in a list here. You can just search by the name, search by the ASIN, and just add them to here. You're also gonna do down only. And for the bids, for this one, I typically just go for the suggested bid and kind of optimize from there. Again, no conversion data. This is because this is a very, very warm audience. The audience already clicked into that listing just because they are interested in the product. They want to buy. They're just unsure about that specific listing, which is where you kind of come in. I noticed in Amazon PPC, some of the most successful campaigns are actually product targeting. As long as your listing is good, your reviews are good, your price is good, your product is dominant, you will have a really good conversion rate if you pick the right competitor's target. For the top of search, I just leave it as is since we're bidding really high. And then for this one, you could just do very, very similar. You don't have to name it exactly the way I name it. Sponsor product. I was just gonna take this and kind of adjust it. We're gonna do product targeting. PT standing for product targeting. And then we're gonna do competitor. You might think just PT might be good, but there's product targeting for your own brand defense, and then there's product targeting for competitors. So we're just gonna name it competitors just to be a little bit more specific. And daily budget, this one, I noticed that, you know, again, unless your category is like on fire, it usually won't hit the budget. It usually won't hit the budget, and $30 is usually fine. From there, just launch campaign. Very, very simple. Once again, it is a very good campaign to run simply because you're kind of feeding off a very warm audience from a competitor trying to convert that sale into yours, right? Very, very simple. And on to the next campaign. The fourth campaign is a low bid phrase discovery campaign. It's kind of like a scavenger campaign, but it's more targeted for phrases and very, very specific searches, right? What I mean is, like, let's say you're selling a curly hair shampoo. What you're kind of targeting is, let's say like someone searches a travel size curly hair shampoo for men. That's kind of the searches that we're really looking for. And it's also a very warm audience. For launch ready products, I kind of include it on day one as a small bounded test just to find other keywords as well. So it's very similar setup as well. So create campaign, it's also a manual campaign. Sponsor products, create campaign again. Ad group, we're gonna do long tail phrase, keeping it simple. Amazon Beyond, pick or SKU, once again, manual targeting. This one's gonna be keyword targeting, but this one we're gonna filter by phrase. So what we're gonna do here is include keywords like shampoo for curly hair. Very, very specific, right? But we're gonna find it for phrase only. We're gonna remove this one, keywords related to your product category, because we want to keep this campaign very specific, even though it might sound good, you know, but we're gonna keep this campaign very specific, down only. But this time with the bid, I'm gonna go very, very low. So I'm gonna go 35 cents. Just because this is a test, I wanna grab the clicks for very, very cheap, since also this is a test for grabbing more keywords. So I would even do 100% top search just because the initial bid is so low. For example, if a competitor ran out of budget or whatever the case might be, they're not running for such specific keywords, we might be able to scoop up really good warm clients for very cheap, which is why it's structured like this. So for the campaign name, we're gonna do the same kind of setup, to be honest. I'm just gonna copy that in, a keyword, and do long tail phrase. The name doesn't really matter as long as it's organizable for you. We're gonna put daily budget a little low on this one. And essentially, that's pretty much it. Just launch campaign and you are set. Obviously, it depends on your budget. You could just change that and you could just launch campaign. The fifth campaign is called a rank push campaign. This is not required for every launch, but personally, I always run it just because I want to increase sales. Organic ranking means like the bestseller ranking for people that don't know. So like the more clicks and sales you get, the higher your bestseller ranking is. And then people are a lot likely to find your listing organically instead of being on pay ad. That's kind of what the rank push is for. And you really need it to grow your brand realistically. And the only time I personally don't run this is if I have limited stock or there's some kind of issue with the product. Make sure you define the keyword you want to rank for, the current organic rank, like the current best-selling rank for your product, the target organic rank, the days of stock. If you don't really have sales, the days of stock will still seem really high. Just make sure that you have enough stock in there, right? If you're already selling and your best-selling rank is already kind of established, I would keep at least 6 days of stock just to account for the increased sales. And you don't want that rank push, that extra money you spent, to go to waste when you run out of stock, right? The less stock you have, honestly, the less it will be favored by Amazon, simply because Amazon want the fastest delivery to the customer. And if you don't have stock in, let's say like the West Coast, it doesn't have prime shipping, it will be pushed a lot less from Amazon, which is also why FBM gets pushed a lot less. So definitely keep in mind when you're creating this campaign. So it's gonna be the same way. We're gonna go create campaign, sponsor products. We're gonna name this rank push, and then the word, let's make it a little shorter because the keyword is gonna be a little long. We're gonna be RP curly hair shampoo. Cause like pretend the product is curly hair shampoo. I did a previous video on curly hair shampoo and that's kind of what we came up with. But select the product. We're gonna do manual targeting, keyword targeting. We're gonna go exact curly hair shampoo. Here we go. Let's add it. And then then this is where you can kind of get, play around with it. Some people say you should run fixed bids for a rank push. I specifically still go with the dynamic bids. I just kind of go with a little higher bid. For this one, I will just start with, if I have no sales data, I will just go with the suggested bid. I would go 50 to 100% top of search just to start, just because I want to rank aggressively for that campaign. Keep in mind that your ACoS is not going to look fun. I will tell you this to begin with. You're going to accept the loss, but the main purpose of this is to drive up organic ranking. You're going to see like the ad sales compared to the total sales of the SKU. It's going to be the difference is going to be, it's going to grow a lot bigger. So basically your ACoS and your tacos is the gap is going to grow wider and wider. The main purpose of this campaign is to basically acquire the customer. And I'm sure you guys know, if you sell outside of Amazon, the hardest and expensive part is to acquire the customers. So this campaign does exactly that. Further down the line, when after you have this item in for 30 days, you can set up subscribe and save and basically try to convert those rank push customers and audiences to subscribe and save on your product just to keep them for a longer run. But essentially, this is how you set up the campaign. You can just name it very similarly, right? Again, you don't have to go the exact way, but you just rank push exact and then date. And then this one, you want to set the campaign a little bit higher. In my opinion, I would do this one. Let's say the other ones I did $30 to $50. I would do $75 to $100 on this one, but it depends on the customer's preference to decide what they want to set as a budget and then launch campaign. But just make sure that you have the match type to be exact on. I don't want to run phrase. I don't want to run broad. This is to push on one specific keyword, 1 to 3. I try to go for 1 or 2. I don't try to run 3. I don't try to push all 3 keywords at once. I just want to test the most relevant keywords for my product to launch for. Okay, so as a bonus, I'm going to include one other campaign. This one is just a scavenger campaign. What scavenger campaign is basically you pick up clicks for super cheap. So the list of keywords that you found when you're building a listing on Helium 10 or Jungle Scout, whatever you use, I'm sure you have like a gigantic list of keywords that you want to run for, but you didn't get a chance to just because the manual exact, I said 15 to 30s. You have a lot more than 15 and 30 keywords, and I know you want to include them. So this is where that comes in. Just name this like scavenger. So it's also a manual campaign, Amazon and beyond. I just pick your product. Also manual targeting. What you want to do is a list of the keywords that you have. Remove broad and phrase. I want to do exact again. Remove this. Add the list of keywords. I'm just gonna pick out a few here just to just to set an example. The bids on these are already really cheap. I want to bid realistically 10 to 20% of the suggested bid, right? I typically try to go for like 35%, but if you're in a supplement space and you're bidding 35 cents, there's no way you're getting that click simply because the bids in the supplement space is so damn expensive. So for something like this, I would even go like white candle. Wow, that's really cheap actually. So I'll even go like 25 to 29. It really depends. So just bid as low as you possibly can. I mean, I don't want to bid 10 cents here, for these keywords, but that's the good thing about this category. The bids are really cheap, but essentially you just want to bid low for when the competitor run out of budget, or somehow your product is the closest to the customer and you happen to get that ad. You get bids for super cheap. This is not like a rank push. This is not a discovery campaign. This is just there simply to try to pick up clicks and sales for super cheap. And right here, and change the top of search, and then campaign name, just name it the same way we've been doing it the past few videos. And then I would just do like $30 for this, simply because since you're getting the clicks for so cheap, I typically try to avoid hitting the daily budget because I want to keep this running at all times. I usually always keep this running at all times simply because it's so cheap, but this does not guarantee that it's going to be a profitable sale. So keep that in mind when you're setting this up. But in the end, the winning launch stack is not the account with most campaigns. It's the account where every campaign has one job, every search term has one owner, every bid fits the product economics, and every change produces a lesson you can use again. Start with auto discovery, manual exact. Start with these 5 campaigns, or if you want to include the bonus, 6, and slowly optimize the campaigns so you can set up other campaigns such as broad expansion, retargeting, sponsored display, sponsored brands. Start with this first, optimize your campaigns, but this is how RN launches a new product. Minimal structure on day one, disciplined learning every single day, and scale only after the product proves where it can win. If you want the exact week by week optimization video, what to kill, what to scale, and when, that video is next. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss it. But thank you very much. This has been a very long video. Until then, see you in the next one.